Hey guys, it's Drac, and today's video is particularly exciting, and when I say exciting, I mean actually exciting. Even though it's a Super Soaker video in the middle of winter, which is confusing, I'm gonna freeze for you guys. It's cool because this is the new H2 Ops line, which is out well before I think it should be, but the H2 Ops line has something that you haven't seen on a Super Soaker in a little while. What's that, Drac? Well, I'm gonna tell you. It's a trigger mechanism. So a while ago there was a lawsuit where Lonnie Johnson essentially won his CPS patent back from Hasbro, and while I'm not going to pretend to understand more about that than I do, which is essentially just that, even though Lonnie is local and all sorts of stuff, I haven't asked him about it. So the premise was that Super Soaker could no longer use that technology and therefore had no reason for triggers on their blasters, as they could no longer pressurize tanks to blast water through them. But this one has a trigger, and part of the H2O Ops, which is clever marketing, line is that they now have triggers again, and they're somehow storing pressure. Whether or not they're using Lonnie's patent, I'm not going to speak on and have no idea, but that's what this is. It's the return of pressurized Super Soakers with a measurable flow of some kind, and that's a reason to be excited. Super Soakers can be fun again. So this is, of course, the Tornado Scream. It is the larger of the two blasters, the other one being the Squall Surge, and I'll get my hands on one of those as soon as I possibly can, but claiming ranges of up to 30 feet, which is pretty normal. It's a little bit less than most CPS blasters, and then a 1 liter or 35 fluid ounce tank capacity, which seems to be this back end in the dark blue, or maybe it's purple. Hard to say on this blaster. And gosh, this new twine is so weird. The serrations are great, but the serrations can't always get to it. So nothing else in the package that I can see. Go ahead and take a look at the blaster. So immediately some ergonomic issues. Wow, that's so strange. Not a comfortable blaster at all. You're tempted to hold it like this, almost, like really like get Sangheili with it somehow, because this is strange. So if I put my trigger finger in the trigger well and then try and get my webbing up into it, I can't actually fit my whole hand in, and so I'm like trying to force. I hope that you guys can see how non-ergonomic this is. This needs to just be a cutaway and stock. If anybody is watching who has any input on this project, this is terrible. Your tank is blocking where the meatus of your hand wants to rest here, and so there's no way to roll into it, but it guides you into it, and then there's nowhere to really rest it because then your thumb can't do anything. So immediately telling you that regardless of the performance, you should probably not look into the H2 Ops Tornado Scream as a primary, just because during a day of water fun, wet hand, slippery, this is just a nightmare. The trigger is quite comfortable. It's got a very long pull and is a little bit thin, but not terrible, and plenty of well for an adult-sized finger. I can fit even the knuckles of my largest fingers through there, so that's not bad. Just the base end of this handle could definitely use an overhaul. So there's my friendly note from the Draculina, but I'm going to use my front porch pitcher, load this guy up, and we'll get straight on into the firing demo. Doesn't have a quick fill valve, which is something that I really miss from the days of old CPS Super Soakers, is how some of them have innovative ways to fill quickly. I thought that was really cool because you could just hook them up to the hose. They had a gasket of sorts. That was neat. So this is old school. Nothing to it but to do it. Wow, it's taking a lot of water. Like, this pitcher holds at least 2 liters. What's going on? There we go. Seems to have over its stated capacity. I don't know why they would understate something. Hasbro is normally really good at overstating things. Hashtag shots fired. But, XD line, anybody? But this seems to hold plenty of water, so maybe it would make an okay primary. It does. I mean, it's got a trigger, so it's immediately better than anything that's been made recently, but it just isn't that comfortable. So very back heavy. You can see that with a full tank, it's really doing a poor job of distributing that weight. You've got to choke up on it, and that only makes the handle issues worse, because now I'm tempted to stick my thumb out and create almost a cradle for this back end, as it is quite weighty, and that's the only way I can prevent just completely tilting this thing. So pumping, that did nothing. I don't know, it sounds like it's pressurizing the tank. Does it give any sort of recommendation for how many pumps? Not quite like an air blaster. Nope. I can't see one on the box. I imagine that that's something that might be on included instructions if there are any. So we're just going to pump until... There we go. That is an OPRV valve. OPRV, overpressure release valve, if I ever heard one. You hear that escape? That tells me that this is as pressurized as it's going to get. This is as nice as it's going to be. So firing. Oh, okay, that's fun. I get it. That's a lot of fun. So in addition to having a reasonably powerful stream, it is firing 2 streams at once. And the reason that they're calling this one the Tornado Scream is because some of the pressure is diverted into a nozzle which spins as the blaster goes through. A lot of pumping for that kind of performance. A little bit disappointing there, but I'm going to go ahead and tilt it past me so that you can see this one fires straight, and then this nozzle here is going to rotate in an arc. Hopefully we don't shoot ourselves in the face. Go! So that's actually really cool, I think. And I'm watering this plant next to me. So I'm going to count it this time. That was a reasonable firing. So how long is it going to take to get back to reloaded and ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Okay, so about 45 pumps after 2 solid blasts to get it repressurized. That's too much. There's nothing else to say about that. This pump needs to be wider, or at least a dual action pump so that it could be doing a lot more work. If I was of a mind to modify this, and I will not be modifying the shell, it looks atrocious, but that would be my first thing, is to take a dual stage bicycle pump and use that to move more air more effectively. But this will probably be the final shot, as I am tired of pumping this blaster already. But that's honestly pretty cool. It's not a bad gimmick. For our first triggered blaster in a very long time, I dig this. I don't know. Wow, really? Only 3? That's all I get? I get 3 strong bursts out of the blaster? That water went fast. These must be very high flow. I normally like a more narrow beam on my Super Soakers, but again, I've been spoiled by a CPS 2000, and I used to have a triple strike, and of course my favorite Super Soaker is the Oozinator. One day, if you guys ask me, I might do a review on my Oozinator. I'm fortunate enough to have both my one from my childhood and a new in-box one. But that's my review on the H2 Ops Tornado Scream. Huge thumbs up for the performance and that it is working well. Slight thumbs down for the ergonomics. You guys can do better than this. Talk to the Nerf team. Come on. But no Nerf tech on this to speak of. It sort of has a tactical rail, but it doesn't look like a functional tactical rail, as there are no grooves to lock into. So I don't know why they're branding it as a Nerf Super Soaker when there's no compatibility, no stock or barrel attachment, and it is not using the old water magazines that were so cool. There was a Tornado blaster that had the magazines in it. Oh, Ghost, hey, who let you out? But that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I know that my reviews can get long at times, and if you watch all the way through, it really does mean a lot to me. And I film my videos this way so that you now have a complete understanding of the blaster, as opposed to if I just took it out of the box, fired it a couple of times, and said, this is fine. So that's my review. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys soon with another Nerf video.